Malaysia's Q1 2025 economic performance, Resilience Amid Global Disruption by Azlan Adnan, MA. As the global economy grapples with heightened trade tensions, protectionist policies, and shifting geopolitical alliances, Malaysia's economic performance in the first quarter of 2025 stands out as a testament to strategic resilience and adaptability. Despite external headwinds, the Malaysian economy expanded by 4.4% year-on-year, a slight moderation from the 5.0% growth recorded in the final quarter of 2024. This growth underscores the nation's robust domestic demand and proactive policy measures. Domestic demand, the pillar of growth. Private consumption. Private consumption, accounting for over half of Malaysia's GDP, grew by 4.7% year-on-year in Q1 2025, up from 4.2% in Q4 2024. This uptick reflects sustained household confidence, supported by stable employment rates and targeted government assistance programs. Spending was particularly strong in housing, utilities, food, and transportation sectors. Government consumption. Government consumption surged by 7.3% in Q1 2025, marking its highest growth in 2 years. This increase was driven by continued investments in public services, infrastructure projects, and social welfare programs under the 12th Malaysia Plan. And investment and infrastructure, catalysts for expansion. Gross fixed capital formation, GFCF. GFCF accelerated to 9.6% in Q1 2025 from 6.4% the previous quarter. This growth was significant investments in structures and machinery, indicating renewed business confidence and ongoing infrastructure development. Public and private sector contributions. The private sector, comprising 80.2% of total GFCF, expanded by 9.2%, while the public sector grew by 11.5%. These figures highlight a balanced investment landscape, with both sectors contributing to the nation's economic momentum. External sector, navigating trade challenges. Export performance. Exports rebounded with a 5.2% year-on-year growth in Q1 2025, reversing the 7.9% contraction in the previous quarter. This recovery was notably influenced by a surge in exports to the United States, which increased by 50.8% in March 2025 as buyers expedited purchases ahead of anticipated tariffs. Trade tensions and diversification. The looming imposition of a 24% tariff on Malaysian goods by the US has introduced uncertainties. While a temporary 90-day reprieve has been granted, Malaysia is actively engaging in negotiations to mitigate long-term impacts. In response, the nation is diversifying its trade partnerships, strengthening ties within ASEAN, and exploring new markets to cushion against potential export disruptions. Sectoral analysis. Diverse economic drivers. Services sector. The services sector, constituting over half of Malaysia's GDP, expanded by 4.7% in Q1 2025. Growth was driven by wholesale and retail trade, transportation, and information and communication subsectors. Manufacturing sector. Manufacturing output grew by 1.9%, supported by strong performance in electrical, electronic, and optical products, as well as food processing industries. Construction sector. The construction industry experienced an 11.9% increase, fueled by civil engineering projects and residential building activities. Agriculture and mining. Agriculture posted a modest growth of 0.8%, while the mining sector saw a 5.7% increase, primarily due to higher natural gas output. Monetary policy. Balancing growth and inflation. Interest rate decisions. Bank Negara Malaysia, BNM, maintained the overnight policy rate at 3.00% in May 2025, aiming to support economic growth while keeping inflation in check. However, economists anticipate a potential rate cut in the fourth quarter to bolster domestic spending amid global trade tensions. Inflation outlook. Inflation reached a 4-year low of 1.4% in March 2025. Nonetheless, the International Monetary Fund projects headline inflation could rise to 2.6% in 2025, driven by planned fuel subsidy reforms and wage pressures. Fiscal reforms, ensuring long-term sustainability. Subsidy rationalization. The government is implementing targeted subsidy reforms, starting with diesel in June 2024, to reduce fiscal burdens and prevent smuggling. Plans are underway to extend these reforms to RON95 petrol in mid-2025, focusing on the top 15% of income earners. Taxation measures. To increase revenue, the government is expanding the Sales and Services Tax, SST, to include commercial services and premium imports. Additionally, a global minimum tax for multinationals and a carbon tax targeting specific sectors are set to be introduced, diversifying the nation's tax base. Outlook: navigating uncertainties with strategic initiatives. Despite external challenges, Malaysia's economic fundamentals remain strong. The central bank projects GDP growth between 4.5% and 5.5% for the year, supported by resilient domestic demand and strategic investments. However, the trajectory will depend on external factors, including the resolution of trade disputes and global economic conditions. Continued structural reforms and prudent fiscal management will be crucial in sustaining growth momentum. References 1. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope, so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed, now seek the skies, and slowly, clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again. Its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to show your support.